the game. Just starting offensively, I thought it was probably our best performance, especially up front. I felt like we really kind of dominated the line of scrimmage there, created some explosive plays in the run game. I thought our backs ran extremely hard, and I thought our tight ends blocked well, and we blocked well on the perimeter. We created some explosive plays in the throw game. We were better on third down. Thought we'd done a nice job getting in manageable third downs when we got behind the sticks a little bit. The one of the biggest plays in the game is obviously the interception down there. We kind of dominated the drive going down through there and made a mistake, and which turned in for points for the other team. I thought defensively, with the exception of one coverage, we made a mistake on there, and made a couple of mistakes on third down. I thought with the different things that they gave us, it done a pretty good job stopping the run, but to me, the big difference in the game defensively is getting off the field on third down. Couple of third and 4 and 5s there that we didn't match some patterns the right way. Had a couple of chances to finish on the quarterback and didn't. They extended plays, and then in the kicking game, we really didn't create an advantage. We had one really good kickoff return, and we had one really poor one. I thought our kickoff coverage was fine. And then I thought Paxton Brooks continues to punt the ball well, and so that's a positive. So just looking at the game, I felt like from a effort, toughness, competitiveness, thought our kids tried to play for 4 quarters, play together, and tried to find a way. But we still, there's probably 6 or 7 plays in the game that were the difference in the game that we need to be on the other side of, and we wasn't. So with that, I'll take any questions about that game.
Questions? We'll start with David Pascal, then we'll go to Jimmy Himes.
Jeremy, with Vanderbilt up, can you just talk? Vanderbilt seems to be playing its best ball of the year. When you talk about your team, I mean, was Saturday one of it? I mean, you said it was its best offensive, but if I ask best ball of the year, do you go back to Missouri?
No, we played much better in this game than we did Missouri. To me, offensively, I think if you look at us over the course of the season, if you take away turnovers, we have a thing that we call it a War Daddy board, but just trying to figure out did these guys play the right way, so to make that board every week, you got to play the right way. You got to play, not have very many mental errors, play with toughness, effort, just compete the right way. So, as the season has went, to me we've had more guys on that board. The one thing that to me that has really kept us from being where we want to be is we've made some critical mistakes in some games that has kept us from doing that. When you look at Vanderbilt, spent a lot of time on them yesterday, and I think offensively, they're spreading the ball around. They're playing fast. I think they got really good running backs, playing with a young quarterback that has gained some confidence as the season has went. Got good playmakers on the outside. They played really good against Florida. Had a chance to beat Mississippi State there a couple of weeks ago. So, Derek's teams always play hard. I think he does a really nice job getting the guys to believe in what they're doing and playing hard, and they always have.
What's the Emerson update following the other night?
Coming out of high school, Greg had a really bad injury. Didn't get a chance to play his senior year, and he just got a little bit of a twist there on an old injury. I think he'll probably be day-to-day this week.
Jimmy?
Jeremy, as far as Eric Gray, it looks like he's becoming an elite running back. What makes him special? Is it his balance, his speed, his vision? What are the things that makes Gray so good?
Well, I think when you look at his preparation, him and Ty and the whole running back group, those guys are really good competitors. They compete every week. They compete every day at practice. They're really good students. They're good leaders, so they try to do it the right way, and I think Jay's done a really nice job with them, continuing to kind of take them to the next level there. And I thought Saturday was probably Eric's best game. I thought the touches that Ty had, I thought Ty had a good game too.
And in regard to the pick six, I saw Gary Tennant looked like he was checking when he went to the line. Was he checking to a different play, or was he just calling the pass protections there?
No, he wasn't checking. That was an RPO. We obviously were late throwing the football, and he knows that we can't do that, and just made a mistake.
Go Austin Price and David Oven.
Coach, I know you normally get the rounds of testing back on Monday. Everything clean with that?
It's one of the reasons we didn't practice yesterday. Just if you look within our conference, it seems like some of the teams that have traveled the week before, we've been fortunate this year, but just kind of from a precautionary standpoint, we didn't practice yesterday so we could get this testing back today. It's still coming in. So as we get the final results, we'll have a little better idea this afternoon.
David?
Jeremy, how would you assess what you've gotten from your safeties this season? And when you look at some of the coverage busts that have come up the last couple of games, why are those things happening?
Well, I think you can look. I think Jalen McCullough and Trayvon Flowers have played really good ball for us over their career. Jalen missed the entire fall camp, and he's just a sophomore. He got hurt against Missouri, and he's played the entire year with an injury. So their practice time has been cut down. Same with Trayvon. These guys are practicing 1 or 2 days a week, just precautionary to make sure we protect them. I think because of that, there's probably been a few things there. It's not like there's a ton, but when you turn a guy loose, the fastest guy in the country there, it's hard not to hit him, right? And at that point in time, the game's 10-0, and I got to do a better job getting these guys prepared. This is not unusual. We've had guys over the years that maybe based off an injury to protect them down the road, we limit their reps during practice. So it's just something that we as a coaching staff need to do a better job so these guys are prepared a little better.
And pass protection, how would you assess what you guys have done there, and specifically with Darnell and Wanye at the tackle spots?
I thought this week we actually done a pretty good job. Our running backs, the one thing, our running backs ran the ball really well in the game. I felt like we didn't protect as well there as we needed to, and that's something that we've got to work on this week.
We'll go to Blake Topmeyer, then Nicholas.
Jeremy, you talked about the interception a little bit, but overall, after reviewing things, what was your evaluation of the way Jarrett played on Saturday, and how open do you see that competition being this week?
Well, he done a lot of really good things in the game. Made a lot of good checks for us that got us in the right runs. These guys were shifting in and out of fronts, and that's important at the quarterback position. If you want to be efficient running the football, you got to make sure you're able to run it in the right fronts. Obviously, there's probably 3 or 4 plays in the game that needed to be better, particularly that one. It's a game-changing play, and it's something that he understands, and it's something that can't happen. You can't throw the ball to the other team anytime. There's going to be times that maybe you got a one-on-one shot or something, and you're throwing the ball, and somebody makes a good play, or maybe there's a time, maybe there's pressure, and somebody hits you or something, and the ball flutters out. But that was an unforced error, and you can't have unforced errors.
If I can follow up, you mentioned his impact on the running game. When a quarterback throws an interception, we all see that. How difficult do you think it is for a layperson to know what a quarterback is doing in the run game there, what their impact is? Because I'm not sure, that's obvious to regular football observers.
You said what kind of person, Blake? I couldn't understand. I didn't understand you.
Just folks like me, really.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Well, there's a lot. Like I mean, you can have guys that maybe throw the ball, make 2 or 3 really good throws, and you think they've had a good game, but maybe they miss in the run game. 50% of the time. There's a lot that goes into it. I mean, if you're going to run the zone to our right, and they got 6 people over there, and we got 3 guys to block them, we don't need to be running the zone over there. We need to be running it to the other side. So there's lots of things that kind of go into that. We've tried to keep it simple this year, just based off circumstance, really in our entire program, just because we've got guys in practice, out of practice. It's been an unusual year, so really in the kicking game, offensively and defensively, we've tried to err on the side of simplicity, so we can make the other team beat us, and give more guys an opportunity to play.
Following off the previous question a little bit, just after reviewing the film from Saturday, what is your assessment of Harris Bailey's performance in the fourth quarter, especially on that touchdown drive? And just talk about his development from the time he stepped on campus, considering the weird offseason that you all had to now in terms of his development as a quarterback.
Right. So I think if you go back to the Kentucky game, I think Harrison got in one drive there. I'm not sure how many plays, maybe 8 to 10 plays in that game against Arkansas. Probably very similar, might have been a little bit more, maybe 10 to 14. And then Saturday, I think he got in 2 drives there. The one thing about him that I've really liked is I've liked his presence. He seemed to be pretty calm. He stepped in there and made 2 or 3 really good throws. Not all of them were caught, but he made 2 or 3 good throws. I feel like he kind of took what the offense gave him. If you go back and look, one thing that I really liked about it is the fact that he didn't really get any live reps much during fall camp. So these are kind of like his opportunities, and I thought he's taking advantage of them. So it gives him confidence moving forward, which is important for him. And some experience there playing on the road.
Coach, when it comes to pass coverage, how would you assess your secondary and linebackers' ability to recognize things pre-snap recognition?
Well, it's interesting you say that, because it's my belief that before every play, there's lots of things that need to go through every defensive player's mind before the ball's ever snapped. What's the score in the game? What's the quarter? Where they at on the field? What's the down and distance? What personnel's in the game? Look at the formation. Does it? Some teams change based off running backs, where the wide receiver locations. There's lots of things that go into that. The best teams that I've been a part of, most of the time have experienced players that kind of play the plays. That's the way I like to put it when it comes to defensive football. You want to be as aggressive as you can possibly be as a defense, but at the same time, you want to have simplicity so you can just play the plays. I think particularly this last game, is a team that it's very important to do that. There was a few change-ups in the game that, they probably got us on. And I think some of our lack of experience, it's guys playing a couple of different positions on third down. They converted a couple of third downs because of that.
Jeremy, with this losing streak, do you feel that the players have kept a pretty good attitude?
Yeah, Jimmy, these guys are they work extremely hard. They prepare the right way. They compete at practice. They're smart guys, right? So most of these guys, they were, except for the freshman class, they were all here, when we went on an 8-game winning streak, right? So, one thing that we try to do is after every game, we'll do it today. We go back and we have a meeting on the things that we've done really good, the things that we've done really bad. And more times than not, it's all about us. It's really not about the other team, whether it's execution, whether it's effort, whatever it is. So these guys have seen when the difference, the little things that it takes to be successful, and the little things that maybe keeps us on the short end of the stick, so to speak. So, I think we've got good leadership. I think the guys continue to work hard. I thought they played hard other night. There's just 4 or 5 plays in every game that changed the game, and we've not been able to be on top on those plays.
And also, does it ever bother you if a defensive player kind of fakes an injury to prevent a penalty or to stop an offensive going fast? Does that ever bother you?
Oh, we don't coach that. All right, so I've been at places where that was the norm, but we hadn't coached that here. It's never been addressed with any of our players.
All right, Austin Price, then David Ubbin.
Coach, you guys are giving up, I think, 50% on third down to opposing offenses this year. Have you been able to kind of pinpoint why they've been able to have success on third down, and what can you do to prevent that?
Every week we go back and look at our quality control, and you start with 3rd and 1s to 2s. I think this year I believe it's 28 that we've had 3rd and 1s to 2s. Then we go 3rd and 3 to 6, 3rd and 7 to 10, and 3rd and 11 plus, and you want to see the percentages of that. Lots of times, obviously, 7 plus, 7 to 10, 11 plus. You should be better. We've been really good on 11 plus, which we should be. To me, we've not gotten off the field on 3rd and 3 to 6 and 7 to 10 like we normally would. So we've got to improve in those down and distances. I've coached all different teams. I've coached teams that had phenomenal pass rushers. I've coached teams that really didn't have pass rushers. So you find ways to get it done. We have struggled in that this year, and in the next week, this will be important. Getting off the field on third down, it's been important every week, but we've got to focus and improve there for sure.
Jeremy, some of the big plays, obviously the interception at the goal line this week. What's kind of your stats understanding for why those things sort of continue to happen with Jared back there when he's played as much football as he has? What do you sort of see as the common theme with some of the mistakes that Jared's made this season?
Well, I just know just particularly that when they're going all the way back, but just threw the ball late. It's a bang deal. It's a run play. If it's there on the pass, you give it to them. If it's not, you throw it away. It's pretty simple. It's 13-10 ball game there. It ends up being at least a 10-point swing. Could have been 14 points. So it was a big play in the game, obviously, and can't do that. It's obvious, right? Just can't make those mistakes.
Eric Kane, then Matthew Ray.
Jeremy, Warren morale about the start the other night and got a lot of run out there quarterback on defense. How would you evaluate his performance against Auburn?
Warren's played really well the last 2 weeks. It's really the first action he's seen, a lot of action this year. He played really well for us early on last year as a freshman, and kind of got some guys back and didn't play as much, played on special teams. He missed a lot of fall camp. There was a point in time that we thought that we were going to move him to safety, and we did for one day during fall camp, just because we liked the way he was practicing and felt like that he was a guy that could give us some range in the back end, smart guy. And then he missed several weeks there of practice, came back the day before the South Carolina game. So it's kind of been a little bit of a roller coaster for him, but the kid has kind of stayed the course. He's kept working, and I really thought he played really good the last 2 weeks.
Matt? Okay, we'll go Jimmy Himes and Nicholas Hill.
Jeremy, Mississippi State played against Georgia with 49 players. And I wonder, would you do that, or would you think that's a disservice to your team, or would it depend on who's out? How do you look at that?
I think the first thing is just the safety of the players. You know, I mean, you might only have 5 guys out. You might have 80 scholarship guys, but what if all 5 of them are centers? You know, or I mean, I don't know. I think that's the first and foremost. You just got to look at the safety of the players, and I think every circumstance is obviously probably different. And if I'm not mistaken, Jimmy, that might be the first time that actual numbers have been released this year. You know, in these situations. I mean, how many people have been out in the other games? Nobody really knows, right?
Yeah. Also, what was injured to Tyler Barron?
The what?
Tyler Barron, I saw him go down. What was his injury?
I don't know that he had an injury. I don't know what injury he had.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
just
know.
saw him go down.
Yeah. No, I mean, these guys go down all the time, so I don't know exactly what injury. Wasn't on the injury report this morning, so.
All right, we'll go to Nicholas Hill.
All right, Coach, considering out of this Thanksgiving week, just what are your plans for the week? Are you guys planning on practicing on Thursday? And additionally, just how do you approach the Thanksgiving week? Is it a little different from a normal game week, or do you just try to press forward as normal for Saturday's game?
No, I think it changes when you play away. You obviously travel on Fridays, so everything is sped up. You know, we always practice on Thursday, so we'll move it in the morning and give the guys some time off in the afternoon.
Last question, Steve Moore.
Coach, what were your big takeaways from Auburn?
Well, you know, just kind of looking at it, you know, for us defensively, we only gave up 3 explosive plays. That's probably the least amount we've given up against these guys in all my years of coaching. So, you know, our problem was we didn't get off the field on 3rd down, and we gave up 1 big explosive play that resulted in a touchdown. Thought offensively, I thought, you know, we moved the ball extremely well in between the probably the 20 to 20. But we didn't create enough explosive plays, I believe, in the throw game to get some cheap points there, and we didn't come away with enough points.
Offensively, was there a big difference between Gus's offense and Chad's offense from what you saw?
Yeah, there's, you know, I think Gus has a unique style of, if you've played him over the years like a lot of us have, he gives you a lot of different looks. You know, I feel like Chad has been more conventional, so to speak, and I think each week they have taken a little bit of Gus's stuff and sprinkled in. Like other night, we got a lot what we call chevron unbalanced motion out of some Stanford formations, which they hadn't showed much this year, but it's some of the flavor that they've had in that family of football for a long time.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.